Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay, insyaAllah kita berjumpa lagi. Okay, so this is a compilations answer. Okay, I will discuss the compilation questions based on the final examinations starts from the year 2008 until maybe 2013, something like that. Okay, uh, to look into the flow of the system, especially for the transactions management chapter 10. Okay, so without further ado, okay, I will explain the questions and then the marks, how you can get the marks from your answer based on the mark distributions. And also I hope after this you all can look into the flow of the questions, especially in the transaction management. Okay, so right, okay, start with question number 5, October 2008. It's a long time ago, but it doesn't matter. The question is going to be maybe going to be the same. It will be repeated again and again and again. All right, so this is the questions. Okay, I will straightforward go to the questions and answer for the questions. Okay, so number 1, what is the deadlock? Okay, I think in the previous chapter I already explained about the deadlock. Okay, so deadlock happens when the transactions have somebody lock and the transaction and forgot to unlock again, so it will repeat until at one point the deadlocks happen. Okay, so for this one the marks is only 2. Okay, so the answer is the deadlocks can occur when 2 or more users are waiting for data to be locked. Okay, so the example is something like this. If let's say this is transaction 1, this is transaction 2. Okay, at this point transaction 1 lock. Okay, and it's supposed to be, if let's say this one is also locked, okay, it will do the transaction, and at the end of the transactions please make sure all the transaction must unlock again. But in these situations it maybe happen something like this. Okay, we have a transaction 1, transaction 2. Okay, this one is locked and then do the transaction. This one also locked do the transactions. Okay, so at the end of the sessions, okay, these transactions is never unlocked. Okay, this transaction is not unlocked. This is also not unlocked until at one point this one is locked, this one is locked. Okay, this one is locked and this one is also locked. There is no unlock based on these 2 transactions. So at the end of the day, okay, this will cause something that what we call as a deadlock. Okay, so based on these questions, okay, you have 2 marks here. A deadlock can happen when 2 or more users are waiting for data locked by each other, and deadlock prevent some transactions for continuing to lock. So because like I mentioned earlier, one is locked, one transaction is locked, another one is locked, they are waiting each other. This is locked, this is locked, this is locked, this is locked, meaning that there is no unlock. So at the end of the day, deadlock will occur. Okay, so this is the situations where deadlock can occur. Okay, so when 2 or more users are waiting for data locked by each other. So transaction 1, transaction 2. Okay, so so that's number 1. Let's move into the second questions. Okay, describes why deadlock happen in the following figure. Okay, so based on the previous questions, okay, maybe you already understand the deadlock. What is that, the deadlock? Okay, so this is the pair. If let's say you have a lock, okay, the pair is unlocked. Okay, if let's say you have start, sometimes the pair is commit. Commits mean unlock. And sometimes you have update and also commit. So meaning that lock, unlock, start, commit. Commit mean unlock, update, and also you must commit to unlock again the transactions. Okay, and the other example, maybe you have to read. Okay, in certain situation you have to read and write. Okay, so you have to But the main point is here lock and also unlock. Okay, so why these transactions happen? Why deadlock happen in this following figure? Alright, so if let's say you see in this figure, okay, transaction 1 try to update. Okay, in these situations, okay, it's fine. This is also trying to update. So until quite sometimes, so the transaction is still updating, and transaction 2 is also updating. So this transaction is supposed to be commit to unlock the transaction. Okay, when they finish their jobs, finish the transaction, they must commit. So the next transaction will lock again and do the transaction, and then commit, lock, unlock, and commit. So but in these situations, okay, all transaction is update. So there is no commit or unlock. So at the end of the day, at the end of the transactions, deadlock detected while waiting for resource. Waiting for what? Waiting for all these transaction to be unlocked. Okay, so let's see the questions, the answer here. Okay, we have 8 marks here. So you must explain properly. Okay, in a figure, no problem exists at point A. Okay, this is point A. As each transaction has row locked on the row it attempt to update. Okay, this is update, this is update. There's no problem here. Each transaction proceeds without being terminated. Okay, this is proceed transaction and is not terminated. Okay, or unlocked. This is also not terminated or unlocked. Okay, so however, each tries next to update the row currently held by other transaction. Okay, this one and this transaction try to update. This transaction also try to update. And then at the next point, this is also try to update. This is also try to update. But there is no commit or terminated. This is no commit or terminated. Okay, and therefore a deadlock result at time point B because neither transaction can obtain the resource it needs to proceed or terminate. Okay, so meaning that kalau kita tengok secara lebih ringkas, dekat sini dia update, dekat sini dia tak terminate, sini dia update, sini tak terminate. Jadi transaction tersebut macam tak habis. Okay, there is no complete process. Okay, there is no lock and unlock, update and also commit or terminated. And it is a deadlock because no matter how long each transaction waits, the conflicting locks are held. Okay, because this one try to lock, this one try to lock, this one try to lock, this one also try to lock, but there is no unlock. Okay, so at one point, the deadlock will occur. Okay, so this is the situation. Okay, why deadlock can happen in this situation. So meaning that in simple words is there is update, but there is no commit for each transaction. There is update, here is update, here is update, and there is no commit for each transaction. So based on the definition, okay, transaction, if let's say you can, if you all still can remember, transaction definition there, number 1 is commit. Transaction must be commit, and number 2, if there is not commit, there will be aborted. Okay, so this is the definitions of transactions. Okay, the transaction should commit, and if let's say there is not commit, they will be aborted. Okay, so this is the definition. But if they cannot commit at the end of the transaction, deadlock can happen. Okay, so that's question number B. Okay, so explain 3 transactions properties. Okay, this is quite popular questions. All right, if let's say you all can still remember, okay, this word A, C, I, D. Okay, from the previous books, mention acids, and the new books mention acids. Okay, if let's say you still remember atomicity. Okay, and then after that we have consistency, isolations, and durability, and S is for serializability. Okay, so in this situation, they only ask you to answer, to explain only 3 of transaction properties. Okay, you will see this question from time to time. Transaction properties mean acids. Okay, atomicity. So please make sure read the notes. Okay, and please make sure you memorize all this answer. So I think this one I already explained in the notes in the chapter. What is atomicity, what is consistent, what is isolation, durable, serializability. So each of these questions consists of one marks. So total here is 10 marks. If let's say they want only 3, okay, the marks will be 6, 2 for each answer. So it doesn't matter. You want to answer all or only 3. But in this situation, there needs only 3 transactions. So because the marks is 6. Okay, now let's move to other one. Okay, I will not explain this one. You all need to read again, and please make sure memorize all these definitions. Okay, atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, and also serializability. Okay, next. Okay, for this question, what is a transaction log? Explain its functions. Okay, so logs. The keyword for this question is log. Okay, what is log? Okay, I already explained also in the chapter. Okay, the keyword is history. Benda-benda yang dah lepas, consider as a log. So that's why people call it logbook. Okay, because we need to write down all the works done before this. Okay, and then so sometimes nowadays we have a B log ataupun block. Okay, so block is normally come from the word log. So we put all the history, all the previous history based on our experience and also whatever it is. So this is what we call as block. Okay, so kita kena tengok dekat sini. So number 1 is a log. So the marks is only 4. Okay, so if let's say you can answer, you can elaborate the words history is good enough. Alright, so if let's say you follow this answer or question, or let's say you follow the notes and the slides, is also can be considered. Okay, so what is log? Log is a transactional. The transaction log is a special table that contain descriptions of database transaction executed by the DBMS. Executed mean benda yang dah dibuat. Executed maksud dia benda yang dah buat ataupun benda yang dah jadi history yang kita dah buat, bukan future. Okay, and the database transaction log plays crucial role in maintaining database concurrency control and also integrity, because we want to know what is the previous transaction or action. Okay, so if there's something happen in our transaction, so we can refer back to the log. Okay, number 2, the information stored in the log is used by DBMS to recover. Okay, the keyword here is recover. To recover the database after the transactions is aborted. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, kalau kata kita tengah keluarkan duit dekat ATM, okay, tiba-tiba blackout. Okay, so meaning that the transaction is aborted, the transaction is not commit atau finish. Okay, so what happen? Bila kita nak tengok balik, kita nak recover balik database, kita kena tengok logbook ataupun whatever transaction log yang disimpan dalam bentuk video ke audio kan dan sebagainya, as long as they call it as a log. Okay, and the transaction log is usually stored in a different hard disk or in a different media tape to prevent the failure caused by a media error. Okay, of course lah, bila kita simpan history, janganlah kita simpan dekat PC yang sama. So kita akan simpan dekat PC yang berbeza. So kalau PC tu down, ATM tu down contohnya, maksud dia database dia ataupun dia punya log tu akan simpan somewhere else. Okay, contoh macam ATM lah. Kalau kata something wrong happen to the ATM, of course kita boleh check balik dekat HQ. Because the data tadi akan simpan somewhere else. Okay, finish for year 2008. Okay, now go back to the October 2009. Okay, the questions is also quite simple. You will see this question repeat again and again and again. Okay, number 1, describe with an example what is the loss update. Okay, so if let's say you you all can still remember. Okay, there's 3 problems in transaction management. Okay, one of the problem is loss update. One of the problem is loss update. Please remember this. Okay, based on this notes, and we have 3 problems for the transaction management. Okay, what is loss update? Okay, what is loss update? The marks is 2. So only 2 marks. So you need to explain the transaction here. Okay, so a concurrency control problem in which user update overrides another user update. So meaning that, katakanlah macam saya ada bagi contoh dalam notes sebelum ni, kalau kita tengah nak keluarkan, nak cek baki, kemudian kita punya parent at the same time lah, maybe pukul 10, kita pun pukul 10, parent kita nak masukkan duit gunakan CDM machine. So apa akan berlaku? So in between tu dia tak sempat nak update lagi, so kita cek baki. Of course kita tak akan dapat baki yang sepatutnya yang kita nak lah. Katakanlah parent nak masukkan 100 kat sini, at the same time kita cek, tapi transaction dekat sini tak settle lagi. Kalau kita nak masuk CDM machine, normally kita akan takes about 3 to 5 minutes kan, enter bla bla bla, masuk duit, kira until the finish, until the transaction finish, maybe took about 5 minutes. So at the same time kita pun tengah cek baki here, check balance. So adakah kita akan dapat balance yang 100 ni? Maybe no. Sebab apa? Transaction ni tak finish lagi, dia tak commit lagi. So apa yang akan berlaku dekat sini? Maybe update dia mungkin ada problem. Kita akan loss update. Sebenarnya transaction tu tak habis lagi. So ini yang maksud dia dekat sini. Dia kata apa? A concurrency control problem in which one user update overrides another user updates. Okay. So kita tak sempat nak habis, mungkin dia override. So kalau kita nak check, better kalau kita tengok, kita kena tunggulah sampai the first transaction finish, baru kita start another transaction. Okay, so please remember. Okay, kita ada 3 dekat sini. Okay, examples of loss update. This is the quite common example for the loss updates. Let's say for this one, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, kita ada T2 and kita ada T1 and also T2. Okay, kalau dalam case ni siapa akan start dulu? Of course, kita nampak T2 akan start dulu. Okay, dia akan begin the transaction. Okay, so once dia start, sepatutnya once dia dah start, yang ini akan buat sampai commit, barulah transaction yang ini akan bermula. So transaction ni sepatutnya bermula di sini. Dia tidak boleh bermula di T2. Okay, so apa akan berlaku dekat sini? Apabila dia dah start, dia akan read balance. Be balance. Katakanlah balance X ni 10. Okay, so bila dia masuk kepada transaction T3, okay, balance equals to 10 campur 100. So kat sini bal X ni sepatutnya akan jadi 110. Okay, so dekat sini dah transaction 3. And at the same time, sini pun dah baca bal X. Okay, yang ni dia nak baca yang mana? Maybe dia akan baca yang ni 10 juga. Balance X ni, bal X ni. Okay, but at the same time, bila masuk transaction 4, okay, yang ini tadi dah write balance ni. So when they write the balance, okay, sini sepatutnya akan tulis 110. Okay, what happened to this one? Adakah balance tadi ni, yang ini tadi ni akan refer 110 ataupun dia akan refer 10 saja dekat sini? Itu yang menjadikan soalan kat sini. Sebab dia berlaku serentak ni, concurrent. T4 berlaku serentak. Satu sedang buat transaction, satu lagi sedang write the balance. Okay, so what happened here? Kalau dia baca 10 tolak 10 jadi kosong. Kalau dia baca kat sini 110 tolak 10, dia akan jadi 10 balik. Okay, katakanlah yang gini dia dah tulis 110, yang ini katakanlah dia tulis 100 sahaja, and dia commit. So bermakna dua transaction ni akan mempunyai nilai yang berbeza. Satu 100, satu lagi 110. Okay. Ini yang dimaksudkan dengan at the end of the day akan berlaku loss update. Sebab update yang satu lagi tadi ni akan override dia another update tadi ni. Okay, so kat sini walaupun dah tulis 110, dekat sini dia override balik, dia akan tulis 100. Sebab kat sini dia baru write, kat sini dah commit. Yang ini write 110, yang ini dia write semula. Okay, so at the end of the day dia akan jadi 100. So akan ada dua value yang berbeza. Okay, so sorry for that, batuk. Alright. So kita nampak dekat sini bermakna akan ada dua update yang berbeza. So that's why kalau kita tengok balik at the definitions here, a concurrency control problem which one user update overrides another user update. Mungkin yang pertama tadi tulis 110, tiba-tiba yang dekat sini dia override, dia tulis jadi 100. Okay, so akan jadilah problem what we call as a loss update. Okay, so kita move to the next question. Okay, number 2. Use your example into show how the two-phase locking protocol can prevent these types of problem. Okay, can prevent these types of problem. Okay, so use your example into show how two-phase locking, or what we call as a 2PL protocol can prevent these types of problem. Okay, keyword for 2PL simple, wait. So maksud dia salah satu transactions kena tunggu, wait until other transaction finish their transactions. Okay, so we can use 2PL to prevent this loss update. Okay, so kalau kita tengok nanti kita nampak dia punya flow tu. Okay, so number 1, let's say based on that example, the previous example, okay, T2 will start first. Okay, they begin transactions and the write lock. Okay, so dia akan dapat privilege. Bila dia lock, dia akan dapat privilege. So dia akan dapat dia akan dapat buat transaction dulu. Okay, kemudian kat sini pun dia akan begin transaction. Okay, kemudian dia akan nampak kat sini dah lock, dia akan lock juga tapi dia tak akan buat lagi. Okay, so dia akan lock sini tapi dia tak akan buat. So yang ini akan start read balance. Okay, katakanlah tadi kat sini 10, so sini 10 campur jadi 110. So dia akan write balance dekat sini 110. So what happen dekat sini, once dia dah write the last figure adalah 110. So dekat sini tadi ni dia lock dulu tapi dia tak boleh buat transaction, dia hanya wait. Pastikan wait ni mesti sama dengan commit. Sama level commit. Maksud dia transaction to commit dahulu, commit or unlock, then dia akan tulis balance kat sini 110, barulah the next transaction tadi ni, barulah the next transaction read balik balance. So kalau dekat sini tadi sepatutnya 110, bila dia read balance dekat sini dia akan baca yang ini. Okay, so dia tak akan baca balance yang 10 dekat sini. So baru nampak dia punya transaction tu akan synchronize. Okay, so because of what, dekat sini kita akan buat wait. So this is the terms for 2PL, two phase locking. Okay, so kalau dia dah baca 10, maksud dia dekat sini sepatutnya 110 minus 10, the balance is equals to 100, and then they write again. Dia commit, dia akan write again balance. So balance, the last balance adalah 110. Jadi dekat sini dia tak akan conflict. Okay, dia tak akan conflict because one transaction waits for another transaction to finish the transaction, or until the transaction is commit or unlock. Okay, so the keyword here is 2PL. The keyword here is wait. Please make sure if let's say you see this question, so how to prevent this loss update, make sure siapa yang dapat dulu akan buat, so this transaction dapat dulu, dia akan buat sampai habis. Yang transaction yang dapat kemudian akan wait. Okay, sama juga kalau dia duduk sebelah sini dengan sebelah sini pun tak ada masalah. Okay, okay, so let's move to another questions. Okay, consider the case of immediate database approach and assume that after a crash the log contains the following records. Okay, this one saya dah explain dulu, tapi kalau you all still remember, buka balik nota, so it's quite simple. Ada dua approach yang kita biasa buat, satu immediate, satu lagi deferred. Okay, ingat balik, immediate, okay, and satu lagi deferred. Okay, so ada dua perbezaan dekat sini, immediate and deferred. Okay, kalau boleh nanti kita buka balik transaction gunakan nota Manino. Gunakan nota Manino, nanti kita akan nampak lebih jelas, ataupun nota satu lagi tu pun boleh, Carlos Cornell. Okay, so kita akan tengok apa maksud immediate, apa maksud deferred. Okay, so okay, katakanlah sekarang ni kita cuba buka dulu nota transaction tu. Okay, mana kita punya PowerPoint. Okay, right. So okay, this is our PowerPoint. Kita cuba buka transaction management. Okey, dah terlalu banyak kat sini. Kita masuk di DBMS. Okey, where is transaction management? Okay, so based on this one, Carlos Cornell. Okay, we refer back to the transaction management. Okay, we have somewhere here. Okay, maybe you can refer back to these notes. If let's say this question happen again, ataupun soalan ni keluar semula nanti. Okay, kat sini. Alright, so dekat sini kita akan nampak the recovery, local or system failure. Okey, ada dua kaedah macam mana kita nak buat recovery. Satu dia panggil immediate update, satu lagi dia panggil deferred update. Okey, listen carefully. Immediate maksud dia akan update before commit. Ni saya dah terangkan before this, so nanti balik baca balik ataupun tengok balik nota transaction. And deferred after commit. Okey, ada dua perkataan yang membezakan kat sini. Okey, satu dia akan buat undo and also redo. Ada dua perkataan, undo and also redo. Okey, kita go back to this one. Okay, so this slide ni. Okay, read carefully. If let's say kat sini dia ada immediate update. Tadi soalan tadi adalah based on immediate update. Okay, dia kata apa? Yang pertama, dia akan update walaupun tak commit. So, baca dekat sini, start from these two ni. Take note on these two. Ni. Okay, dia kata apa? Need to redo updates of committed transactions following a failure. Maksud dia, kalau transaction tersebut dah commit tetapi berlaku failure, apa kita nak buat? Kita kena redo. Okay, may need to undo effects of transaction that had not committed. Mana-mana transaction yang tidak commit lagi dan berlaku failure, kita kena undo. Okay, yang ini adalah untuk immediate update. Okay, so kena remember balik, kena ingat balik. Okay, so that kita ada kat sini kita ada deferred. So kalau dah faham yang ini, senang nanti kita nak buat balik dia punya soalan. Soalan sebenarnya senang je. Yang penting fahamkan soalan kat sini. Okey, so kita tengok pada recovery yang soalan tadi ni. Okey, so you all boleh refer back to the video sebelum ni, recovery timeline. Saya dah cerita panjang lebar. Okey, saya ambil satu contoh je lah. Contoh je kat sini, finish before CP. So apa kita perlu buat for immediate? None. Okey. Tapi sekiranya dia started before CP tapi dia finish before failure. Tapi dekat transaction ni dia dah commit tak? Dia dah commit ni. Yang dekat sini dia dah commit. Ni pun dah commit. So apa akan berlaku? Dia kena redo. Tapi yang mana yang tak commit lagi, ni dua ni tak commit. So dia kena undo. Okey, kita go back to the question tadi. Okey, apa kita nak buat dengan soalan tadi ni? So dia kata apa tadi? Consider the case of immediate database approach. So dekat keyword kat sini immediate. Dia bukan sebut pasal deferred. Okay, assume that after crash the log contain the following records. Okay, so dia akan ada record macam ni. Okay, apa akan berlaku? Okay, which transaction will be redone during the recovery? Okay, dekat sini keyword dia adalah redone ataupun redo. Okay, tadi dia ada dua, redo and also undo. So redo maksud dia dah commit ke belum? Untuk redo is normally transaction yang dah commit. Okay, yang committed. Okay, kalau undo yang not committed. Okay, ingat yang tu dulu. Okay, so dekat sini kita akan nampak ada transaction dekat sini. Transaction ni berlaku. Okay, transaction 1 dia akan start, commit tak? Okay, yang ini dah commit. Okay, transaction 2 dia start tak commit lagi. Yang ini tak commit. Transaction 3 dia start dia commit. Okay, dan transaction 4 dia start dekat sini tak ada commit. Okay, so based on this transaction tadi ni, okay, which one yang kita kena redo? Okay, so dah tahu, kalau dah faham tadi, the word redo ni adalah yang committed, yang dah commit. So yang mana yang dah commit? T1 and also T3. So jawapan dia adalah T1 and also T3. Okay, so it's quite simple. So make sure faham soalan dia dulu. So which one yang kita perlu redo ataupun redone adalah T1, T3. Kenapa? Sebab dua-dua ni dah commit. Okay, sebab apa dia kata? Since these two transaction contain a start and a commit record. Okey, so kalau dah faham, senang. Soalan seterusnya. Which transactions will be undone ataupun undo? Okey, so maksud dia yang tak commit lagi. Okey, so mana dia? Jawapan dia adalah simple je. T2 and also T4 because the content a start record but not commit record. Okey, so dekat situ simply je boleh dapat 4 markah. So make sure refer back to the transaction management, baca balik, tengok balik, fahamkan semula, cuba ingat which one is undo, which one is redo, then straightforward you boleh dapat jawapan. Okey, kita go to the next question here. What will be the value of data item J and N after the recovery? Okey, J and N. Okey, kita tengok balik atas. J and N. Okey, kat sini ada J. Dekat sini ada N. Okey. Dekat transaction T1 ni dah commit ke belum? Kalau dah commit, maksud dia kita nak ambil all value or new value. So J tadi ni sepatutnya kita nak ambil 400 ke 500. Okey, same goes to N tadi ni. So dekat sini dah commit ke belum? Belum kan? So kita nak ambil value 800 ke kita nak ambil value 900? Okey. So jawapan dia adalah kalau kita tengok J dah commit, sepatutnya dia akan ambil new value. Dan yang ini dia belum commit kan? So bila dia undo dia akan ambil 800. Okey, so kita tengok jawapan dia. Okey. Okey, so dekat sini jawapan dia adalah J is 500, N adalah 800 sebab satu dah commit, J dah commit, N belum commit. Jadi jawapan kat sini ini ambil yang new, yang ini ambil yang all record. Okey, so kalau faham senang je, just simple things. Satu dah commit dia ambil yang 500, yang satu lagi belum commit dia ambil 800. Sebab yang ini tak commit, bila tak commit dia tak akan ambil value ni. Sebab apa? Value tu belum committed lagi, dia belum update lagi value ni. Okay, next. Okay, habis. So question number 4. Okay, yang ini saya skip sebab apa? Yang ini is something related to fragmentation ni DDBMS. Okay, saya skip dulu. Ni tak ada kena-mengena, just termasuk je kat dalam ni. Okay, yang ni pun saya skip je dulu. Data dictionary ni bukan dalam transaction. Okay, let's move to okey, yang ini pun sebenarnya dah termasuk dah ni, tapi tak apalah, soalan ni saya dah just skip je dulu. Okey. Next question, April 2011. Okey. Consider the following relation schema. Okey, kita ada account number, customer names and branch and also name. Okey, this is what we call as a relation schema. So kita ada relation schema ni, relation schema ni. Okey, so semua dah faham lah tu. Okey. And kalau kita tengok dekat sini ada two transaction. Number 1 is select, number 2 is insert. Kalau select sahaja adakah dia berubah? Data ni akan berubah. Kalau di insert data ni berubah ke tidak? Okey, so soalan dia adalah will the two transaction conflict if they are executed simultaneously? Explain your answer. Adakah kalau dua-dua ni di jalan serentak dia akan konflik? Okey, satu select, satu lagi insert. Okey, jawapan dia adalah yes. Sebab apa? Seorang tengah tengok balance, tengah select, tengah tengok balance, seorang lagi tengah insertkan balance. Ini pun contoh macam ATM yang saya sebut tu. Kita tengah check balance, your parents tengah masukkan duit pada masa yang hampir sama. Adakah boleh berlaku konflik? Yes. Okey, dalam kes ni dia ada satu lagi problem yang dipanggil incorrect summary problem. So kita dah jumpa dua dah problem. Satu tadi loss update. Okey, yang kedua tadi kat sini incorrect summary problem. Tapi kalau yang biasa nampak dalam soalan adalah loss update. Yang ketiga nanti ada perkataan inconsistent something. Okey, nanti kita tengok kemudian inconsistent. So ada 3 jenis problem dekat dalam transaction. Okey, so jawapan tadi yes. Alright, next. Explain how the above problem can be solved. Okey, kalau berlaku macam ni, apa kita nak buat? Okey, saya dah sebut tadi, bila kita nampak 2PL, perkataan yang saya nak tengok di sini adalah wait. Okey, so yang pertama kita log dulu. Bila siapa yang dah dapat log, dia akan buat, yang tak dapat log akan wait. Itu saja. Dan siapa yang dah dapat buat tadi, dia pastikan dia release balik log. Maksud dia unlock supaya orang lain yang tunggu tadi tu boleh buat semula. Okey, ni sahaja jawapan dia. Simple. Obtain log before accessing item. Wait if a conflict log is held. and content obtain new logs after releasing the log. Okay, simple. So the keyword kat sini adalah wait. Sebab 2PL keyword dia adalah wait. Maksud dia satu transaction buat, satu lagi mesti kena tunggu. Satu habis, dia unlock, baru the next transaction akan continue. Okay, next. Okay, ini pun kalau dah tahu soalan tadi, simple je. Dia ulang balik soalan yang hampir sama. Okay, consider the following log information that involve 3 transaction. Assume that, okay, kat sini dia sebut apa? Immediate update protocol. Tadi kita ada 2, immediate and also deferred. Kita dah ingat tadi, immediate ada redo, ada undo. With checking pointing is used for crash recovery. Explain the restart work necessary for this 2 transaction. Okay, restart work dia ada 2 saja. Satu redo, satu lagi undo. Okay, which one yang kena redo, which one yang kena undo. Okay, kalau dekat sini dah commit ke belum? Belum. Kat sini dah commit ke belum? Yes. Kat sini dah commit ke belum? Belum. Okay, so jawapan dia untuk T1, apa kita perlu buat? Sebab dia belum commit lagi. Undo ke redo? Okay, kalau kita tengok, so jawapan dia untuk T1, kita perlu undo. So kalau ingat lagi tadi, apa yang belum commit, undo. Yang dah commit, kita redo. Dan T3 adalah undo juga. Sebab T3 pun belum commit. So simple je. Kalau boleh faham soalan dia, boleh faham konsep dia, senang. Sebab kat sini belum commit. Okay, dia belum commit, maksud dia sini kita undo, sini dah commit, sini redo, sini belum commit, kita undo. Okay, okay, this is, yang ini jawapan dia. Okay, undo, redo, undo. So senang je, dapat markah 6. It's quite simple. Okay, the next one, dia kata dia explain differences between immediate update and also deferred update. Yang ini you kena baca lah. So basically ada dalam nota yang saya dah cerita tadi ni. Kat sini ada dia punya sampel. Saya tak perlu cerita detail sebab okay, kat sini ni. Nanti kalau tengok balik nota ni, dia ada cerita satu immediate, satu deferred. Okay, sini immediate, dan ni cerita dia, yang ini di deferred. Immediate and also deferred. Okay, so nanti boleh baca. Tapi kalau nak tengok sini ada jawapan dia lah. Okay, immediate approach, database updates are returned to disk when they occur, but after corresponding log update to restore database both undo and redo. Ada soalan ni, undo and redo operation may be needed. And for deferred, okay, database updates are returned only after transaction commits. Okay, to restore database only redo operations are needed. Okay, itu beza dia. Right. So soalan seterusnya. Okay. Dan yang ni dah nampak hampir sama. So nampak tadi ulang-ulang, 2012 diulang semula. How do concurrency control and recovery management support ACID? ACID apa tadi ni? Yang tadi ada buku tulis ACIDs, ada buku tulis ACIDs. Atomicity, inconsistency, concurrency, isolations, durability and also serializability. Okay, so this is the answer. So jadi yang ni saya tak perlu explain lah. Yang ni baca je lah, nanti boleh hafal. Okay, mungkin senang. Okay, the next one. What do you understand by locking granularity? Okay, yang ini pun sebenarnya dia sama dengan 2PL tadi ni. So maksud dia naik, dia buat, dia turun. Dia ada dia ada satu, dia panggil ada 2 phase kat sini. Growing phase. Okay, kemudian dia akan buat transaction. Okay, yang ni pun ada dalam nota, and lepas tu dia akan buat shrinking phase. Okay, so kalau tengok dekat sini, explain your answer. The size of the database item is locked. Locking granularity is a trade-off between waiting times, amount of concurrency permitted, and overhead number of lock. Okay, number 2. Discuss, dia dah ulang balik, nampak tak? Dia ulang balik. Explain briefly two-phase locking protocol. Discuss the major problem caused by this protocol. Okay, apa tadi masalah dengan 2PL? Saya sebut tadi, keyword dia adalah wait. Okay, wait kat sini. So, apa masalah dia? Kita kena pastikan sebelum before reading or writing data item, transaction must acquire applicable lock. Dia mesti dapatkan lock dulu supaya dia dapat buat transaction. Kemudian yang tak dapat lock kena tunggu. Dan selepas dia release balik lock tadi ni, after releasing a lock, the transaction does not acquire any new lock. So, transaction lain akan dapat continue the transactions. Okay, itu saja. So dia akan ulang-ulang benda yang sama saja. So dekat sini pun ada 3 poin sama macam soalan atas tadi. Okay, next. Okay, yang ni saya rasa yang ni baca sendirilah. Match the phrases in column X with the correct terms in column Y. Yang ni tak ada masalah lah ni. Nanti kena hafal lah kat sini. Saya tak perlu explain lah ni. Nanti kena hafal apa dia. Nanti ada jawapan boleh tengok. Okay, next. Okay. Explain 3 problem which occur in concurrency control. Okay, give an example. Saya dah sebut tadi ada 3. So kena hafal sini lah. Salah satu loss update, incorrect summary yang tadi ada kat atas, yang satu lagi uncommitted dependency problem. Okay, ada 3 ni. Hafal je lah. Okay. Loss update, uncommitted, incorrect summary. Kalau diminta explain ada 9 markah ni, bacalah nanti kat situ, cari dalam buku Manino. Yang ini bab-bab menghafal ni, saya rasa saya tak perlu explain detail lah. So you all kena hafal sendiri, baca sendiri. Okay, the next one. Okay, dah hampir soalan yang hampir sama. Okay. Give a 2 schedule transaction T1, T2 such that the schedule observe 2 phase locking. 2PL juga. So kenapa 2PL? Sebab kat sini ada wait. Okay, so apa soalan dia? Okay. Alright. Okay, soalan dia apa sini? Give a schedule for 2 transactions, T1 and T2, such that schedule observe 2 phase locking, and the answer is use 2PL. Okay, use 2PL maksud dia kena tengok wait kat sini ni. So macam mana nak overcome this problem tadi ni? So pun soalan di atas tidak ada. Macam mana dia normally nak atasi masalah yang inilah secara umum. So maksud dia kita boleh gunakan 2PL. Jawapan dia kita gunakan 2PL. Maksud dia kita kena pastikan bila guna 2PL mesti salah satu transaction yang kemudian akan tunggu. Siapa yang dapat dulu akan proceed, yang ini akan tunggu sampailah dia habis, barulah dia akan buat. Maksud dia sampai commit ni, dia habis, dia dah commit, barulah transaction yang akan proceed. Okay, alright, next. Okay, compare to log based recovery scheme in terms of ease of implementation and cost. Okay, pun benda yang sama juga. Dicerita balik, satu deferred update, satu immediate update. So dia ada undo, redo. Okay. So yang ni pun saya rasa kalau tengok balik dia dah ulang soalan yang sama. So kalau keluar balik, insya-Allah benda yang sama lah. So cuma hafal je lah sikit. Tadi atas tu ringkas sikit, yang bawah ni dia macam dia panjang sikit jawapan dia. Tapi actually dia benda yang hampir sama. Redo, undo, commit, tak commit, kena hafal yang itu. Okay, the next one. Ni pun macam dah ulang-ulang balik. Okay, kalau kita tengok DBMS provide recovery concurrency control services to process transaction efficiently and reliably if there is no lost data. Describe 4 transactions properties. Okay, kat sini pun dia nak 4 apa tadi? Assets. Nak ambil 4 yang ini pun boleh. Normally kalau 4 ambil yang inilah ACID. Okay, S ni adalah serializability. Kalau diminta 5, bagilah 5. Okay, so sama juga. Yang ni pun hafal lah tadi ni. So nampak tadi ulang-ulang balik acid tu. Okay, next. Okay, consider the following scheme. Okay, ni mungkin yang last lah, nanti kalau buat panjang sangat video ni, nanti kalau perlu saya akan buat yang lain. Okay, consider the following scheme. Kita ada staff number, names, position, salary. Okay, table 2 show 2 transactions are executed concurrently without any control. Okay, without any control. Maksud dia tak adalah 2PL tu. Okay. So apa berlaku dekat sini? So dekat sini mungkin soalan-soalan ni mungkin banyak berlaku macam ni lah nanti. Okey. Dia yang pertama dia kata apa? Napi initial salary is 3,000 and assume that Zain was not in the staff table before the start of T1 and T2. Okey, Zain sebab apa Zain dekat sini dia baru insert ni. So masa start kat sini Zain tak ada lagi. Okey, cuma gaji Napi kat sini adalah 3,000. Okay, and then apa soalan dia dekat sini? State the salary for Zain and Napi after the above execution. Okay, so maksudnya kita kena baca balik dekat sini apa gaji dua orang ni. Okay, so kat sini kita kena fahamkan balik. Dekat sini dia akan update staff. Gaji Napi yang asal adalah 3,000. Okay, kemudian dia update 3,500. Okay, kemudian kalau kita tengok gaji Zain tadi, sebab dia baru insert kat sini, gaji dia adalah 3,000. So yang ni gaji Zain. Tapi gaji Napi tadi dia dah berubah sebab ada kenaikan salary dekat sini. So gaji Napi akan jadi 3,300. Sebab lepas dia commit tadi ni akan ada update pula untuk staff. Jadi staff tadi salary dia akan kali 1.1. Jadi dia akan nampak dan gaji tu kebetulan gaji tu adalah untuk napi, jadi napi akan jadi 3,300. Okey. So maksud dia transaction ni sama je. So nanti you all kena tengok balik siapa yang dapat dulu, siapa update dulu, siapa yang insert dulu. Okey. Flow dia sama, konsep dia sama. Okey. Alright. So saya rasa yang ini pun tak ada isu. State the salary for Zain and Napi after the above execution with the concurrency control. Okey, kalau ada concurrency control, maksud dia salah satu daripada transaction tadi tu kena tunggu. Jadi gaji dia sebenarnya 3,500 sebab ada pertambahan dekat situ. Gaji Zain still 3,000 sebab Zain tadi baru masuk. Okay. And what is the names of the concurrency problem? Explain your answer. Okay, dalam kes ni tadi berlaku loss update sebab gaji napi tadi tak sama. Yang atas tadi kalau dia tak ada control, gaji dia 3,300. Kalau kita dah buat control, mungkin kita gunakan tadi 2PL, wait, gaji dia 3,350. Sebab tadi dia update pada masa yang hampir sama. Okay. So dekat sini jawapan dia adalah loss update problems. Okay. So sama jugalah jawapan macam atas tadi yang pertama tadi. So that's why sekarang ni kalau nampak dia ulang-ulang balik. Okay. So explains how the above problem can be solved. Okay, nampak tak? Macam mana problem tu boleh solve? Gunakan 2PL. Apa tadi 2PL? Keyword dia adalah wait. So transaction yang dapat dulu, buat. Yang mana yang tak dapat, kena tunggu, wait sampai the first transaction commit, and then baru dia akan start balik. Okay, so cerita dia sama. Saya tak perlu explain lah. So kat sini dah nampak dah. Cerita dia ulang-ulang balik. So dah tak ada isu dah. Okay, yang ini, untuk yang ini, okay, yang ini pun sebenarnya ni dah termasuk dalam DBMS. Saya skip, tak ada apa dah. Tak ada isu. Okay, yang ini pun jawapan masih lagi sama. Yang ni saya pantas-pantas lah. Okay. Apa dia loss update? Dah 3-4 kali dah soalan yang sama ulang balik. Okay, inilah loss update. Macam mana cara nak atasi loss update? Gunakanlah 2PL. Okay, how to solve problem? Gunakan log ataupun 2PL. Okay, jadi yang ini boleh baca sendirilah. Sebab dah terlalu panjang ni. So nanti you all boleh baca balik. So macam mana nak solvekan dia? Maksud dia kita gunakan biasanya untuk masalah macam ni 2PL lah. Maksud dia keyword dia tadi adalah wait. Tunggu. Okay. So saya tak perlu ulang dah ni. Dan pun last kali tengok jawapan soalan yang sama. Apa dia concurrency control? Benda yang hampir sama. Maksud dia jalan serentak, simultaneous. The keyword is simultaneous kat sini. Okay, refer the following scenarios. Pun sama juga, dia akan satu. Okay, Atika change the address. Okay, yang pertama, senario pertama dia change. Bila change maksud dia berlaku perubahan tak? Yes. Dan yang kedua dia view saja. View ni ada berlaku perubahan tak? Tak. Okay, yang ini berlaku perubahan, yang ini tak berlaku perubahan. So apa kena buat? State the database operation involved in the both scenario. Okay, satu. Okay, read and update operation. Satu lagi read saja. Sebab tadi satu dia baca, satu dia update. Tapi satu lagi tadi dia hanya tengok saja. Okay, discuss whether the database operation in one are recorded in the transaction logs. Okay, so perlu tak dia record? Kat sini kata only the update operation is recorded in transaction. Yang mana yang tak update dia tak akan masuk dalam log. Tapi kita boleh buat do undo log. Sebab tadi dia hanya nombor 2 yang tadi dia hanya view saja. Yang ini dia update. Okay, saya kat sini dah laju lah. So okay, soalannya ni pun sama. Kalau kita dah faham yang atas tadi, dah hampir sama ya. Dia punya soalan dekat sini. System failures very common and some mechanism required to recover database data loss. Define the recovery management. Okay, so answer. A service is restore database to consistent state after failure. Okay, explain the importance of checkpoint. Penting tak checkpoint kat sini ni? Okay, penting tak checkpoint kat sini ni? Penting sebab ini kita untuk kita refer back as a logbook nanti. So apa masalah dia kat sini? Checkpoint allow database to write all the update buffer in the memory. And also the next one, state the recovery mechanism that you want to use and explain what are the action to recover the lost update. Pun sama jugalah macam tadi, gunakan 2PL tadi ni. Okay, kita akan finish check before checking, kemudian di start before checkpoint, started before checkpoint apa dan sebagainya. Okay, so kat sini boleh gunakan immediate update dan juga boleh gunakan deferred update. Cuma kita kena faham yang dua konsep tadi lah. Yang mana patut redo, yang mana patut undo. Okay. So, alright. So, habis kat sini. So, saya harap, I hope you all can understand. So, boleh follow this compilation. And then, if let's say keluar soalan yang sama, di sebenarnya dia ulang-ulang benda yang sama sahaja. Okay. So, yang ni pun sekarang dah dekat 50 minit. Jadi saya rasa saya akan tamatkan di sini. So hopefully you all boleh tengok dan pastikan kalau tak faham boleh ulang balik soalan tu dan jawapan telah diberi. So pastikan you all boleh nampak sebab ada certain question tu dia ulang-ulang balik, soalan dia sama je lebih kurang. It's quite simple. Baca, fahamkan, and also after that cuba tulis balik. Kalau tak tulis nanti aku tak boleh nak ingat. Okay, so with that I think thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Kita jumpa lagi maybe dalam next session. Assalamualaikum.